Our next award is the Santini Patriot Spirit Award, and it's being presented by Tom Berenger. A gifted actor and producer, Tom Berenger has more than 100 film and television credits to his extensive body of work. Having come to Beaufort in 1983 to appear in the mega smash hit The Big Chill, Tom has been a familiar face in our community ever since. He has won a Golden Globe and nominated for an Academy Award for the role of Sergeant Barnes in Platoon. He is presenting tonight the inaugural Santini Patriot Spirit Award to Jonathan Flora. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very talented performer and really nice guy, Tom Berenger.
Thanks, Ron. And thank all of you. It's an honor to be here tonight. The Santini Award is presented to the filmmaker whose portrayal of the American military, the veterans, or their families reflects the highest standards of service and sacrifice for the good of others. This may come in the form of a feature film, a documentary, or a short. The award is named after Colonel Donald Conroy, aka the Great Santini, and father of Academy Award nominated screenwriter and national best-selling novelist Pat Conroy. Now, Mr. Conroy would ordinarily present this award, but at present he is outside the country and sends his regrets. I don't know where he's at. I think maybe France. Possibly he's working on another novel, or maybe a French cookbook. We wait with bated breath. But he does send his regrets. However, he sends these words, and I quote, "The Santini Award is a fabulous idea, and it has my fullest, most enthusiastic endorsement. My father would have gone nuts over this, and I know that my family will love it. Thanks for thinking of it. Great love, Pat Conroy." End quote. This year's Santini Patriot Spirit Award is presented for a documentary entitled Lieutenant Dan Band for the Common Good. Now, remarks in the following trailer will come from my old friend Dale Dye, United States Marine Corps Captain retired, and actor Gary Sinise. The film recognizes the efforts of the military and the USO that serves them so well. Ladies and gentlemen, to a former Army paratrooper of the 82nd Airborne Division and the director of this documentary, Jonathan Flora, please give a big hand.
Don't let the notes scare you. It's not that long. It's really to keep me from going long and to keep me on script. And right away, I'm going to immediately get off of script. Ron, you are so sneaky. I mean, I was so impressed how he considered every detail and the attention to detail, to even with Marianne and Jeff at the Culprit House where we were able to stay, that he stocked it full of Ohio people. I was impressed with that, but for you to get Dale and Gary, I really appreciate that. So to Ron and Rebecca and all of the sponsors for the Beaufort Film Society, I'm so grateful for this tremendous and humbling honor, and to receive the Great Santini Award, having been such a fan of the film for so long, and now being able to have met Robert Duvall and work with him a little bit, it really is a tremendous honor. And I do have to say, I promised Ron, for those of you that have seen the movie, that I would not come up with a can of mushroom soup underneath my suit jacket and throw up on your shoes. But I really have to share this award with so many other people. Obviously Gary Sinise, because without him, we wouldn't have a film to be able to go around and meet all these wonderful people that are serving in our military and the first responders and their families. And of course I share it with the military. I'm so glad that Jason Hale is here, who you've seen in the film. He spoke, and he's on his way to Afghanistan this fall. So if we can thank Jason, but also all the other military folks that are here, I appreciate it. And I also, I don't have to, but I really want to. I want to thank my beautiful wife, because without her, there's only 1/4 of me. And she's my best friend and my partner in life and the mother of our children. I'm so grateful. I love you so much. Thank you. In the 1954 movie, The Bridges of Toko-Ri, the question was asked, where do we get such men? And from the first time our soldiers were told to hold their fire until they see the whites of the enemy's eyes, to the time that we charged across a Pennsylvania farm field to clash with the enemy who very well could be our blood brother, to the Argonne Forest where we captured Hill 223, to storming the beaches of Normandy and the deadly island hopping in the Pacific, to the frigid, frozen reservoir of the chosen few who faced an overwhelming number of the enemy, to the stifling jungles deep inside of Vietnam, to the island, the sand and the mountains of Iraq and Afghanistan, America has been finding such men and women. And they answer the call in such a valiant way. And so for not only to ask, where do we get them, it's also to ask why they fight, because they're America's sons and daughters. And they come from every walk of life. They come from the small rural country areas like I do, to the big cities, to obviously right here in the low country. But perhaps the best answer on where we find these people and why is with John Stuart Mill when he said, war is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. The decayed and degraded state of moral and patriotic feeling which thinks that nothing is worth war is much worse. The person who has nothing for which he is willing to fight, nothing which is more important than his own personal safety, is a miserable creature and has no chance of being free unless made and kept so by the exertions of better men than himself. That describes the men and women who serve today and continue to answer the call. Where do we get such men? Well, for Bull Meacham, we obviously get him from Pat Conroy, who wrote The Great Santini. And that's why I chose to close is a little bit of the eulogy that Pat gave for his father's funeral. When we talk about the aviators who raised us and the Marines who loved us, we can look you in the eye and say, you would not like to have been America's enemies when our fathers flew overhead. We were raised by the men who made the United States of America the safest country on the earth in the bloodiest century of recorded history. We sleep much better at night knowing that there are men and women that are willing to go and face the enemy to keep us free. Thank you very much for this award. Thank you for the troops and the first responders who this goes to. And thank you, Beaufort Film Society, for this. Thank you very much.